about you than this song. Can't seem to change my ways.
The sweet sounds of Nova Scotia-based JJ Roots there. The dynamic duo made up of Jocelyn, Parlee, and Jeff Scott Gray joined forces just a couple years ago, and since then have honed their sound and exploded on the music scene in the Maritimes and abroad. In fact, last year, the pair took home the title of Americana Duo of the Year at the International Josie Music Awards in Tennessee. And I'm delighted to welcome, for the first time on Global News Morning, Jocelyn Parlee and Jeff Scott Gray, better known as JJ Roots, joining me via Zoom from Elmsdale, Nova Scotia this morning. Jocelyn, Jeff, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks
Hi,
so much
guys.
for having us.
Oh, thanks for being here, and we are in for a real treat. If you stick around for the next few minutes, all of our viewers, we're going to hear from this incredible pair. I've been listening to your music throughout the morning, guys. You have such a great sound, and I kind of teased our viewers this morning. I said you met in a very unique way, and again, you're a new band. You just formed a couple of years ago, but in your own right, you've had your own incredible careers in music. But how did you join forces? Jocelyn, I'll ask you, how did this happen?
Well, actually, Jeff, I was searching for a songwriter with some very distinct skills in rock background, and we actually met just through tasting each other's songs on Reverb Nation, and come to find out that Jeff was located not far from me in Stewiacke. So we kind of met up one day, and
yep.
you know, the rest is history. Yeah. We just started.
And it's interesting because you are a new band, but you've kind of, you got your footing over the past couple of years. You really have exploded, but now we are in a pandemic as you're kind of just really getting in there and getting down to business and doing what you do so well. So, Jeff, I'll ask you, how have you been impacted by this pandemic? How have things changed since this pandemic became part of your lives?
We were actually quite fortunate, given that we were in the midst of writing a new album and doing pre-production for a new album. We haven't played a show since last October, November. So really for us, it didn't impact us all that much. It's delayed our release of our new album. We put out an album in 2018, but it's delayed. All it's done is really delayed our release of our new album, which we're still not sure when it's going to come out for absolute certain.
Yeah.
But that's really what it's done. And then also we had numerous shows planned throughout, like everyone else, that have been canceled for this year. So, but we've been pushing through. We've been able to push through once we were able to bubble together. We were able to push through and continue to write and do pre-production on songs.
Yeah, which actually turned out for the better, because we ended up with a bunch of new songs that probably wouldn't have come about.
Hey, so it's a silver lining, isn't it? Really. In every case, whenever I talk to an artist, there really is a silver lining to this pandemic. Speaking of what you're doing now, you are working with a world-renowned producer, Paul Milner. Some of our viewers who are really familiar with the production side of things in music will know that name. Jocelyn, Paul Milner, just give us an idea of who he's worked with and how has that process been working on your next album with him?
Oh, well, Paul he's a consummate professional. He is just so richly infused with experience. I think Paul's been in the industry for well over 30 years now, and he's worked with Paul McCartney, Sting, oh my goodness.
He engineered for Keith Richards. So, Eddie Grant, if you remember, rock band to Electric Avenue.
Amazing.
Yeah, so he's worked with some world-class artists. So we feel super fortunate that he's taking the time to really dive into this project with us and help us bring a sound that is definitely something we're going to be very proud to present.
All right, guys, we have to leave the interview portion there, and I wish we had more time. I could ask questions all day, but I want to have a little time here to let you perform from your last album, your latest single, I should say, Cold, which I've listened to online. It's beautiful. So tee that up for us, and then take it away, guys, with Cold.
Right on. So Cold actually was our first single we worked on with Paul Milner.
That's right.
So here it is.
Well, there's a story about pretty people alive, broken beats in the mean streets where the devil hides his lies. Tells them all what it's all
Drinking from the bottles that slowly empty there. Hooked by the bitter night, lifting them again. See the eyes of poverty, exposed and growing old. Sight of doom still echoes in my head. Still echoes in my head. Begging with the shooting man, counting cracks in the cobblestone. Bleeding hearts begin to sing the streets. Fractured gathered against the cold. Gathered against the cold.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you to JJ Roots performing for us this morning, and great way to wrap up our show today. Their album, by the way, coming out, their first sophomore album is called Silver Linings. How appropriate is that? We're talking about silver linings amid a pandemic, of course, so great to hear from them this morning. And you can follow along there on Twitter, Facebook, JJ Roots. One is how you can find them on the gram. They're awesome, and
you can tell they've been performing for quite a while together.
Oh yeah, well they haven't been. They really came together a couple years ago, but separately been performing, and so they're just incredible musicians in their own right. But they've come together, which is like the ultimate force of music there.
Yeah,
so
really cool. JJ Roots, I'll have to check out more.
Yeah.